story, which the performance of Vladimir Horowitz elicits. About 15 years ago, the Rockefeller Foundation sent me to North Korea to look into making a documentary. So I went, and as I wandered around with the guide that one is always given, I happened to show him the same thing that you saw of Vladimir Horowitz, to give him a better idea of my methods. And I could see, as he was watching, a flow of tears down his cheek. And when the scene was over, he turned to me and said, "You know, between you and me, the job that I have is not what I really want. I always wanted to be a concert pianist." And that scene, seeing that, broke the distance that propaganda and so forth would have made for us. We were suddenly became, with all of the differences, we found common ground with one another. And to this day, I have maintained a correspondence with him. And to look at still another way, filming people of another country in a very humanistic fashion, and showing that to the country that you emanate from, like filming people in Iraq, for example, as an American filmmaker who can show that footage in his own country. It could very well dampen the enthusiasm for going to war. I'm so determined to make use of my abilities as a documentary filmmaker to lessen war and make war for peace, that I'm about to make a film of a very ardent and very efficient peacemaker, just by following around this person. And as with every film I make, the viewer will feel the experience of this person making peace, so much so that it's millions of people making peace themselves. So there's a great possibility. I can tell you that there's so much joy when you've got something that's just right. When my brother and I were making Great Gardens, we'd have particularly successful days, like the one when Mrs. Beale spontaneously sang Tea for Two. And they knew, the two of them, that we got something very good. And at the end of the day, one of them showed, the Maysles have created a classic. Yeah. So it's doing good all the way around, making friends between the filmmaker and the subjects, and then projecting that friendship for other people to become friends. As many as 60, 70 million just on television. And there's another thing I should point out. When you saw a salesman, that whole film is probably the first feature documentary. Films before it were feature-length documentaries, but not truly feature. So when people use the word feature, it no longer means a work of fiction. It can be a feature documentary, which makes us think again, my goodness, why aren't we seeing more documentaries in movie theaters? And more good documentaries are being made. And more of them in this particular style. Although television, so far as it's commercial, thinks that you get a safer and stronger film if you have a narration over it. When you saw that piece, one of the first early pieces this evening of the Cuban family moving into a new house, it was a piece from a film that got shown on television. And it was the commercial television people that added the narration. It would be interesting if I had it without narration, and you'd see that the narration only takes away from what you see, rather than adding to it. And of course, in the narration, they had to make some kind of a comment against communism and Fidel Castro, something to the effect that, sure,